My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Welcome. Hello, my friend. First I want to just do a shout out to this book. All right. Money Isn't the Problem, You Are. It is written by Mr. Gary Douglas and Dr. Dean here. It's actually a really easy read. This was one of the books. I've read a lot of money books. I find money fascinating in the way that it can really bring up our shit and facilitate us moving into and expanding into more of us. It's not even really about money. And that's part of this book. Money Isn't the Problem, You Are. So this is one of the first books I read, and every couple of years I go back to it and I kind of get like little nuggets out of it, or I'll receive it in a different way. And one of the basics of this book is about receiving. It starts off with Gary and Dane sharing a conversation they had where Dane kept saying, I have a money problem. And Gary said, you don't have a money problem. And really what they got down to was Dane had a receiving problem. There's so much we could explore together in this curious universe around this area. But something that was really pinging me when I was reading another book, I love books. I was reading a book called The Ascent of Money, and it's talking about kind of the history of money. And it's so fascinating because I can see where so many people think that money did this and money is the corruption. And do you see how money is used to control? And I actually know a lot of people that are hoping that the whole money system disappears. As though that's going to be the solution. If we can get rid of money, then we won't have people trying to control or doing dominance or superiority. I don't align with that. I don't feel that that's true. It's what if money isn't the problem, which brought me to like reopen this book and really look at it. What if money wasn't the problem? One of the things they started to talk about was certain tribes that they discovered that had not been kind of influenced by the financial systems that we had created. And those tribes were always in conflict with each other because they weren't actually in a form of, they had no motivation to do trade, and they had no way of doing like exchange. Does that make sense? So they would rather just conquer and take. And so I'm not saying, let me just make this clear. I'm not saying that money was some kind of savior either. I'm not saying that money's right, but I also want us to look at where we made money wrong. Like what if there's ways that money has actually contributed to the evolution of our species? What if there's places where money has created people stepping out more, expanding more? I just joined a year-long business academy, and I've never really done anything like this. I usually just like take the free stuff and then I keep creating. And my business was screaming at me like, you just need to do this. And I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the money to invest in this. And I realized, well, one, I'm using money as an excuse, which a lot of people use it for an excuse. And two, what I got really clear on is if I said yes to this, because of how much it costs monthly, it was quite higher than anything I've spent for something like this. Like I said, I always do the free stuff. I realized I was really going to have to close the back door to my business, that I was going to have to go all in. This is where I see the total gift of money. Because if it was just free and I could do it or not do it, and if there was no money exchange, I wouldn't have made that leap. And when I committed to my life in that moment in a totally different way and committed to being with my business, I could literally sense like my life jumping, like moving like a rocket ship forward into something greater. And I know that if money wasn't in the equation, it would not have created that for me. Now, again, I'm not saying money's right. Who knows what else is possible? A social credit system. I don't know. Is that going to create the future that we all would like to have? Is there something else available? I do wonder what is possible, but I also don't vilify money. Money's just an energy. It's like, it's, you can look at the financial system. Does it have flaws? Of course it has flaws. Can we create something greater by engaging with it? Yes, I believe we can. So if money wasn't the problem in your life, if money wasn't the problem in the world, what could we be aware of and what could we actually explore? So now it's time let's get curious about you and get into your universe. So what is your relationship like with money? Is it a problem? Is it a stress? Is it something that you have vilified? Is it something that you feel guilty about? Is it, I know a lot of people, it's kind of like, oh, if I had money, then all of these problems would magically disappear. I've definitely been the caretaker of that point of view. For a really long time. I think I was always the kid dreaming, like, when I'm a millionaire one day, all my problems will disappear. But that's what happens is if you make something the problem, then you're always also looking for it to be the solution, but you have to keep creating it as a problem. So if the solution is money and then no money is the problem, then you have to keep creating no money so that you can have the solution. This is maybe a whole nother podcast, but all you problem solvers out there might want to reconsider owning that problem solving capacity as like your greatest capacity, because yes, being able to like have something presented to you and finding an amazing solution is great. But if you claim yourself as a problem solver, you will look for problems. If you claim money as a problem, then you have to create more problems to continuously validate that point of view. I realize maybe this is a little bit fast paced. So let's just bring it down for a minute. Okay. So what is your relationship like with money? Has it been a problem for you? Was it a problem for, family growing up? Has it been a solution for you? Do you see, like, I'll just throw money at it. Like, that's a solution to everything. I'll just put it on my credit card. That's a solution to everything. Do you vilify money? Is money the problem of society, the problem of the world? What if money was a possibility? So if you're a problem seeker, you will find that which you seek. I've always been a possibility seeker. So I've been seeking possibility my whole life in different ways. And when I started to seek the possibility of money rather than the problem of money, that's when I started to activate a magic that I had with money that I had no idea I had, because I couldn't access that magic from the point of view that money is a problem, right? Because if I decided money is a problem, then I will maintain it as a problem. And if I can wave a magic wand at something, then it can't really be that big of a problem, right? So, yeah. So what is true for you with money beyond problem? And what's so exciting is maybe some people are aware of something different other than, cash, money, currency, like, the evolution of Bitcoin. people are trying different things, and this is a really fun experimental time. But when I look at the energy of money, it includes all of that. It includes Bitcoin, and includes cash in your wallet. It includes when, someone buys you dinner, or it includes when you exchange services with someone. That's money for me. Cash is cash. Money is money. So whatever system we end up evolving into, what if money could be a possibility for you? And here's the thing, is that if you see money as a possibility, it is so much more willing to come hang out with you than when you see it as a problem, right? Do you want to hang out with people that are like, oh, that problem is back, to deal with that problem person? I don't want to be a problem in someone's life. Money doesn't want to be a problem in your life. What if money has a consciousness? What if it's an energy that you could engage with, invite the possibility of, in whatever way that shows up for you? I have a friend that lives off of exchange. Like, there's not a lot of cash that comes in or out of his life. And it's so cool that that's the possibility of money for him, is that he doesn't have to worry about the paper stuff, the cash stuff, those like little fake digits in your bank account. So what are you aware of as a possibility with money that maybe no one's ever acknowledged? And we adopt all of these problems along the way, right? Depending on like how you grew up. If you grew up with really wealthy parents, maybe you saw the problems in a different way. Maybe it was like, oh, this person's using my parents for money. So the problem is you can't trust anyone when money is involved. Right? I just thought of like that song when I was a kid, more money, more problems, more money, more problems. Yep. You know that song. Wow. So how interesting is that implant? So then we want less money, so we have less problems. That's weird. Again, what if money was a possibility for you? So what has been your relationship with money? What is your relationship with money now? You can kind of look at this lifetime. And what would you like to create? What would you like to, is your relationship actually flourishing and really creative with money? Or is it contracted? Is it full of judgment and resentment? If it is, then maybe you want to destroy it and create that. You want to actually let that go and move into a possibility with money. Wouldn't that be so much lighter and brighter and beautiful? So how many people on this planet see money as a problem in some way? And you're psychic. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but I know that if you're watching this, if you've watched any of my podcasts, if you're still on right now, if you watch the show every week, that you have psychic abilities or you wouldn't be here. And so we are tapping into all those people's points of view about money all the time, about it being a problem, about it being, and it's so many different varieties of problems. Like I said, it could be an abundance of money, but now the problem is people use you for money, or now the problem is you can't trust anyone, or now the problem is, you have to maintain a lifestyle. Like people can create problems like that no matter what's going on. You could have someone that lives in a small village that has a beautiful property that grows their own food and doesn't require a lot. And they could have a great relationship with money, and they have little to nothing. They don't have a whole bunch of cars. They don't have, tons of fancy luxury clothes or anything like that. Do you see, if you start to look at everything from different perspectives, in any way. You could vilify money, you could make it a problem, or you could see it as a possibility. So if money wasn't the problem, what's the possibility that you could choose? And you might have unique possibilities with money that other people don't have, that they can't have. And you know what's so beautiful is that if you choose those possibilities, you open the door for other people to choose those possibilities as well. Yeah. So if money wasn't the problem, what possibilities would you have with money? You can keep asking that question, and sometimes asking a question like that, like over and over, you start to have more awarenesses show up, or even it's just a sense of energy. So every time I say it, I'm getting like a greater expansive energy that I'm perceiving, and it kind of relaxes in like becoming more of that possibility. So if money wasn't a problem, and if it never was a problem, and it never had been a problem, what are the infinite possibilities that you actually have and can choose with money? And if you have some really cool stuff coming in, write it down. You might actually have like awarenesses that you can cognate and you can play with and engage with. And you might just have a sense of energy or lightness or something shifting. And then that's cool. And you can re-listen to this. What if you like pivoted, like from like looking at how do I solve the problem of money, and your energy directed at that. Okay. Because of course, if you're like, all your energy is going at solving the problem of money, right? If you pivot to seeking every possibility with money, do you see how that, like, that little pivot could literally change your whole life? Because now your attention is on the possibility. And then the universe goes, oh, they're interested in possibilities with money. I will send them possibilities with money. When your attention is on solving the problem of money, the universe will send you more problems to solve. That's how it works. That's part of how we communicate with the universe. And the universe is always listening. So if it's light for you today, you could actually give up all problems with money. You could also buy this book. It's really great. Maybe I'll leave a link. You could just give up those problems and be like, you know what? Money isn't a problem. I don't have to look for a solution, because if there's no problem, then there's no solution. But I am going to pivot, and I'm going to start really getting curious and really seeking out and really exploring the possibilities that I have with money, however that shows up. And again, I don't see money as just digits in my bank account. It shows up in such miraculous ways for me. It can show up with receiving gifts. It can show up with, my favorite foods on sale. It can show up with money showing up as if by magic. I've literally found cash in random places like books. I should flip this. No, not today. There's so many different ways that money can show up as if by magic for you, if you are seeking the possibilities of miraculousness with money, magic with money. What if you truly could have infinite possibilities with money? Would you be willing to pivot and start seeking that, exploring that, inviting that in? The universe will deliver. I promise. Thank you so much for watching this show. I hope that this contributed to you. If you got some ahas, I would love to hear your comments. I do check them. And it also contributes a lot to like future shows. So I know what kind of content I can create for you, and what really is going to be the contribution to your life that I would like to be. So thank you again, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for exploring the curious universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?